So I was in the process of prepping to film a video, and I have my Klim Shift that I use for my video workstation, and I was typing on it, and I noticed that, wait a minute, why is it wobbly? And I took a look at the back, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks like it's bulging. I really don't think it's because I have modded it, I don't think it's the modding. I think it's the battery. And I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. I hope I'm wrong, but in case I'm right, I've got a video so I can show you guys how to properly disconnect it. Because I've had a couple of batteries I've replaced, but I haven't filmed it. So if this is the case, then I'll be able to do that. So let's go ahead and remove a couple of these keycaps. I think that might be all of them. We can definitely tell a keyboard's used when it's as dirty as this one is. I kind of feel a little embarrassed. I'm always telling people to clean their keyboards, and here I am. But I mean, this is a workhorse, so if I remember correctly, these are going into plastic studs. I want to be as careful as I can be. All right, so I primarily use this keyboard over 2.4 just because it's easier for the setup, and I plug it in maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks to charge it. It's got a long skinny battery, and it's hard to tell, but yeah, I do believe it's bulging. So let's see what we got here. There's the connector. Oh yeah, that's the button that punches through right there. But let's go ahead and remove these screws. This may have, yeah, the switch is going to be attached to this, so we'll have to be careful. Don't want to break it. That'd probably be easier to go ahead and disconnect this. Okay. Got that disconnected. Let's see what we got here. There's the switch. All right, yeah, looking at it from the side, you can definitely tell it's bulging. So yeah, I want to get as much of this out of here as I can. But this, all right, there we go. Don't want to break that switch. Okay, so that switch stays in place right there. It's a plastic switch. We'll go ahead and take it out. All right, there we got the 2 wires. Now I actually think I have a replacement battery with this exact same connector. I just don't think I have the room in here for it because it's a square battery. All right, this battery connector just does not want to budge. Now, here you want to be really careful. I really almost want to put the battery off. I'm going to go ahead and clip it and give it a little bit of room. Looks like it was already just up there. Make sure we don't touch these together. And then I want to take something soft. I mean, I know there's metal spudgers out there, and you can do it if you do it carefully, but one thing you do not want to do is bend this. I don't have that much room here. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like there's 2 cells there, but I'm still not looking to bend anything. I'm just trying to get it out. And I do have some 99% alcohol somewhere, but you don't want to use anything lower than 91 because lithium and water do not get along, and that will be an instant mess on your hands. These spicy pillows can be quite a pain to remove. I'm trying to be as careful as possible to not bend it. Just trying to get underneath it and loosen the either double-sided tape or glue that's holding the battery down. Again, this is something you want to be patient with, and you want to avoid best as possible bending or puncturing this battery, because if the anode and the cathode, or there we go, that was a lot of double-sided tape there. They really wanted that to hold on, didn't they? But yeah, we can tell this battery was definitely swelling, especially this cell. This cell, well, it's got a little bit of swelling, but you can definitely see the swelling on this cell. It looks like, again, two different cells put together. Even looks like it has padding or double-sided tape above. All right, so this is a 2000 milliamp 3.7 volt, and it looks like it has a production date of 2021. So it's definitely outlived its time. I'm glad I noticed. I mean, I guess where they placed it, it kind of made sense. Now, question is the battery that I actually have spare going to work, or is this going to be just a wired board from here on out? I mean, I guess I could always order another skinny one. Now, to dispose of this battery, until you can get it to a either a recycling center specifically that says they'll take batteries, or many times Best Buy has in the foyer, or the door, that area between the main door and the door to the store, AC cooling area, I don't know. They usually have a battery drop off there. Please do not throw these away in just a regular trash can. And if it's going to be a minute before you have a chance to get to a recycling place, I've always found that this isn't empty, but if you have mason jars, you can always drop them in there. I mean, it's obviously, a mason jar can drop and break, but it's usually a good spot, and for some reason it catches fire. It shouldn't have too much oxygen. I doubt it would crack the glass, but I don't know because I haven't tried it. And I mean, I'd have to start a whole other channel if I'm going to start putting batteries inside of glass jars to see what happens. All right, so the battery that I have that's actually was from the keyboard that I was just about to make a video about, and I just got cat hair on it, is actually a 2000 milliamp hour 3.7 volt battery. So it's basically the same thing, and the thinness is basically the same. And since I already cut this off, I can just hot wire it to those. Problem is, where am I going to fit it? That's really the question that I need to ask myself here. The way the case is designed, it really only has this space available, and as you can clearly see, and it's not like I can cut off some of the milliamps off this battery. I really doubt it's going to sit anywhere like in here and be able to. And even if I cut these walls right here, it's going to be at an angle, and that's not going to work either. All right, so there's no way that I'm going to make this battery work. And I mean, yes, I could go back to it just being wired, but then that takes up another cord, and I have limited USB ports because I'm already using them with all the cameras and microphones and everything connected here. So I came across this pen that's just kind of been sitting on my desk for a while now. This has a date of 2021, but it hasn't been used. This battery seems fine. It actually almost looks like the size of a AAA battery. So I'm thinking, because it's a 3.7 volt, I mean, it is only 380 milliamp hours, so it's only 1/5 of the battery that was in there. But if I turn off the RGB, I think it should last me okay. Because, I mean, like I said, I didn't have to charge it, but every 3, sometimes 4 weeks, depending. But I think I'm going to go ahead and whack these onto this cable right here, put this back in there, and see if it works. I mean, worst that can happen is no, but I did test this, and this was working prior to. So I have ordered some new wire strippers, but they haven't arrived. So I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to go ahead and get these stripped. I think I'm just going to wire them together and tape them. I don't have room for a soldering station right now, and I'm going to use double tape so that the battery just kind of stays in one place, so I don't think it'll really be an issue. Let's put the switch back in. It goes this way. So I do want to get this board down in place first, and then I'll double stick that on there. Let's see, it goes like this. For some reason I'm having trouble getting that USB port to go through its little window, as well as get it through these post holes and connect it to the switch. But I don't think the switch is the issue. I think the USB port right now. With a little bit of patience and care, and doing my best not to break the switch, I got it in there. I'm going to go ahead and screw these back together, and then go ahead and put the double-sided tape down. All right, so we got that plate in there, and I think the battery is going to fit just fine there. It looks like it should not bulge. Looks like it's got just enough space. I'm going to put it actually as close to this board as possible. So let me get a strip of two-sided tape here. All right, that should keep the battery fastened. Let's see how much of this I can get back in there. All right, now we want to connect this back up. Now we do have this button that we want it to come out through right there. Going to stuff as much of this away from the edges, and then we're going to flip it back over. I do remember it was a tight fit as I was, and I still had a screw I had to get done, but it's just that it's a tight fit. All right, everything fits and there's no wobble. Let's make sure that it actually works. And turn it on. And it works. So we've now replaced the battery in our clim shift, which is also Z686, I believe. There's a couple of different models that this comes by, but we've just replaced the battery in there with the battery from a pen. Let's go ahead and close it back up and make sure that everything works as expected, but I think that will be all good. And I'm going to have to turn off the RGB. I want the battery to last. All right, I got the screws all tightened down, so I'm going to clean up a little bit of polyfill that did make it out the edges. Let's go ahead and put the keycaps back on. I know there's some of the zip and fit that just didn't make it back in. All right, so I had to take a quick look at the manual, but it doesn't have a off mode, so I just decreased the brightness to 0, but it is working. It is nice and even now. It's not wobbly like it was before. I would have liked to find another flatter battery. I'm pretty sure that I have some devices I no longer need that might have like this part. So I may probably come back, because I mean, while that battery does fit in there, it is kind of tight. I don't want to give it any more pressure, because once that battery starts giving, then it's going to be a problem. But I wanted to take the opportunity, since I had a battery on hand that had become a spicy pillow. I hadn't done a battery replacement yet. Basically, the biggest thing that you have to make sure when you're replacing the battery, obviously that it fits, but that it has the same voltage. Obviously, the milliamp hours, that's the capacity. That's how long it's going to last. So we've got 380. Let's see if we can get a week out of it. I'll try to report back. But this is my Clem shift. I'll link the video down below when I did the original mods. But when I come back to it with a different battery, and who knows, maybe I'll be able to find a skinny battery like this one as a replacement, but I'm pretty sure I have some devices that have this part of the battery, like 1,000 milliamp hour, on a couple of different things. But because, I mean, unfortunately this battery didn't fit, but if I do come across another keyboard that needs a battery replaced, here we go. This is one of the few keyboards I've had to replace the battery in. On every single one of my first version Newfie keyboards, I just removed the battery altogether. So I probably use that one in a couple of the Newfies, but I don't really use those anymore and really can't recommend them. They're a whole slew of issues, but that's neither here nor there. I hope that this was helpful in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, I'll cover a little bit more once I have a different battery, but I wanted to just show you how easy it can be to replace the battery on your keyboard in case it's gone out. I do hope this was helpful. I want to wish everyone out there in YouTube land a wonderful rest of your day, and until the next transmission, keep calm and keyboard on.